So this is the one where I lose in an end stream, right? Maybe I think Lucio's much harder though. Looks like we're here. It's the lab. The LCD and SOE haven't reached out again since the last transmission. Can only hope that no misfortune befell them. Hey, Manager Bud. You picking up on anything? I mean the golden bow? If those people got to it before us. Not yet. I don't think they did. It's still in there. Oh, is that right? I guess I should be glad we still have a chance. Gregor mumbled on in a gloomy tone. Hoheim will be relieved to hear this. We stepped into the lab. The lights were off. It was completely dark inside. Oh god, it's the weird creature thing. It looks like somebody was discussing bolus recipes in here. If the assailants were indeed after the golden bow, what could they possibly want with it? Did you eat the bug arm? No. I was deeply engrossed in my thoughts when I noticed that Rishi had stopped in her tracks. Rishi, there's a stench coming from up ahead. A sickeningly familiar one. Even in the cloying darkness of the unlit lab, Ryoshi seemed to notice something out of place. You smell something? I don't smell anything other than your cigarette. Oh yeah. You've not been smoking for a hot minute. Only silence welcomed us in the lab. We couldn't hear any breathing, but there was without a doubt the stink of cigarettes and a chilling, disembodied sense of dread we couldn't exactly put a finger on. When I left that place, I remember feeling a strong contempt for someone. It had to have been. Ryoshi started muttering as though she was gripped by the chill. I noticed she wasn't speaking to me, though. It seemed as though she was wading through a bog of mutilated memories to cling to her emotions that moment. Dihui Star, you. All along, you've wanted to make me suffer to the bitter end, haven't you? What audacity. You think I'm the one making you suffer, Yoshihide? You do realize that you've always been the one obstacle in my life, don't you? This is the only way for us to get even. What's going on here? No, that's not what I wanted. Oh. Okay. The cloaked lady. Ishide, it never stops. The sound of the fetter around my feet, rusted and heavy. How it clinks and rattles. In that vision of the past, Ryoshi raises her sword in an agonizingly slow motion, unsheathing a blade that we have never seen revealed before. A white blade of such unfeeling purity, devoid of even a trace of mercy beneath its pale edge. Shing. In the split second, I was blinded by the glint of the blade. Ryoshi clutched the hooded figure's jaw in her crushing grip. Then, without a moment's hesitation, she drove the blindingly bright sword into the figure's mouth. Ryoshi pulled the sword out in a single swift motion. Splat. The figure coughed out a thick glob of blood and a piece of her sliced tongue. Maniacal laughter. But she spat out more than just a bloody chunk of flesh. A gulpful hacked its way out of her mouth. It would probably ruin your day. The triumphant laughter of one who had just seized the victory of one's life. With a deep, ragged breath, Ryoshi let her sword fall from her grip. She stood rooted in her spot, staring at the falling figure with a look of flailing figure with pure confusion. Isotopia. Insidious stench of the past in the air. Alright now. And right now, right before Ryoshi's eyes. She's perfectly fine. The vivid presence from the memories of her past came to life in the form of a white silhouette. Her hand slowly brushing the lips beyond which no tongue laid, as if to remember the absence of the organ that Ryoshi had so mercilessly cut off. like a lone watchman who had been keeping vigil, awaiting our arrival. The mouth that lost its tongue faced Ryushi without opening even once. But I think I heard a whisper of a hollow saw escaping between her lips. Because of my 5 fathers, I had to leave behind the single most important thing in this world. And that is why I must take it back. It's got red glowing eyes. Who are you? So happy to see you again, Ryushu. I mean it. Such were the words of my master bade to me to relay. The Pinky Nursefather. El Pinky. As my master expects not from my insignificant self. I am but a blade rusting amid the quiet turn of nature, doomed to ever endure dullness of todays and the emptiness of morrows, and therein owing to your pursuit of the spider's thread. I am once again granted a chance to carry out my master's will. Long-ass sword, this is called a Masamune. I have no idea. Another talker. Piss off. As her apprentice approached us, Ryushi's Nursefather slowly stepped away. Toward where the container of the golden bow lay nestled, emanating a soft glow. What the f... The Pinky apprentice. The preparations are complete. I trust you have not forgotten the plan. That's the big sword. Where the Nursefather had left, a figure clad in steel armor entered. What the? The armament looks a little too crude to be a piece of gear imbued with advanced technology. It looks akin to a torture device we had previously seen in the basement of Sinclair's home. Oh boy. No flesh, no blood, no bones to show in a fight. For an artwork meant for my eyes, its aesthetics are lacking in class. Keeping your mouth shut even a moment like this, did he not teach you there's no beauty to be found in it? I want him here. Where is the ring, Nursefather? The armored figure answered Ryushi's question. With a swing of their huge sword, we need to take care of this quick and track down the golden bow. Let's fend them all off. You're starting to pick up the rudiments of aesthetics, Clock. Watch as I demonstrate the meaning of AOS. Oh, phase 9? It is I, lady. Ew. All my organs that she stole are in there. Refrain from any deviations from the plan. Has my humble self neglected to impress upon this matter many times? See, fascia has begun to pulsate. Oh! I haven't seen Fascia tremble like so in a long time. Why don't you give her some time to chat? This plan involves no outward expression of such selfish desires. The plan involves only the observation of the warming, reddening flesh while your own heart beats slow. That plan isn't to Fascia's liking. Her tendons have tightened. Yet we must learn to remain tranquil before these common beats if we are to adhere to the wills of those who are our masters. Always been so curious of it. He's shaking. This dude's like, aight, bitch, shut up. I'm tired of you. Child forever lost. Why not let us at least prepare Makate? It has become apparent that this glorified executioner does not know her place. Clearly, it is about time her branches are pruned. He's really upset. But with that, the man who stood in our way leaped toward the pulsating greatsword of flesh and delivered a powerful strike. I could have done this the whole time, says the guy who ran. Maybe our stroke of fortune. It seems that in the chaos, our presence has slipped their minds. Ah, the golden bow. Let's just pick it up off the floor and run. Feeling a dull pain squeezing through the grooves of my mind, I turned toward the spot from which the cessation searched for. If Ryoshu was not invincible during that fight, we weren't winning. I wasn't winning. I was like, what is this? Well, if she wasn't, 1 HP. Forever. And saw Ryoshu standing there. In her eyes burned hatred and fury, a glare that would easily have had me believe that she would unsheathe the sword from her back at any time. Any minute. At the receiving end of that glare, Lady Blue was the veiled figure who'd been watching our battle without a word. The Pinky's nursefather simply stood there, meeting Ryoshi's wrathful gaze as she did in the fragmented memories. Then she withdrew into the shadows, the darkness slowly eating away at her shape. Before disappearing from our sights. Dante, have you found the golden bows? We must... Nope! We were too late. I felt the dull pain in my head lift as I pointed at where the veiled person stood. The golden bows that should have been there were gone. What remained in their place were dozens of cigarette butts, the same kind that Ryoshi smoked, piled up like a thick layer of dust. It's a weird looking golden bow, not gonna lie. Yeah, it looked like a bunch of cigarettes piled on the floor. Put in the work! The work! It doesn't show how much damage you took total, right? Just like caps out. No, it should. It should. 63 experience. I did it. I did it.